Кто-то мне говорил, когда я сказал, знаете, я все-таки хочу поехать, встретиться с Константинопольским патриархом, чтобы поговорить по-человечески, по-братски. Мы же с ним знакомы с 1977 года, молодыми людьми еще вместе там работали, какие-то тексты писали. И я обратил это предложение встретиться где-то и сказал, что если Святейшему будет удобно, давайте встретимся какой-то на нейтральной территории, ну вот можно в Шамбези, в их центре, под Женевой, или в другом месте. На что мне было отвечено: нет, вы должны приехать. Только в Константинополе, в Стамбуле с вами будет разговаривать патриарх. Я понял, что это такое желание, ну, то, что называется, поставить на место. И кто-то мне из коллег сказал: не надо ехать, это унизительно. А я подумал: нет, это не унизительно. Да, это унизительно для тех, кто обращает внимание на эти игрушки, а я на них не обращаю внимания. Я готов пешком идти, куда угодно, с тем, чтобы только предотвратить такого рода развитие событий, к которому, к сожалению, мы пришли сегодня. И я поехал в Константинополь и по-братски разговаривал. Не могу сказать, чтобы слишком по-братски со мной разговаривал константинопольский патриарх.
Israeli clothing brand sparked uproar over an ad campaign featuring models tearing off a niqab under the tagline "Freedom is basic." The video also pointedly refers to one of Israel's biggest foes. There's been angry reaction online.
Freedom is basic.
First of all, you're dumb if you think this is considered freedom. This is just disrespectful in so many levels.
And who are you to define freedom as exposing your hair and taking off a hijab? Freedom is a relative concept. This is extremely disrespectful and disgusting.
Can't be bothered by a cheap Islamophobic ad like this by hoodies. Let them have their freedom and we will have ours.
When I saw that ad, I was angry. How could that be okay in today's world? And it wasn't just me who was angry. Pretty much everyone that saw it got angry as well.
Yeah, well, a women's rights advocate we spoke to says the advertisement is out of sync with the values of people who see it these days.
My concern is that the advertisement is not only not in touch with the consumer that it's advertising to, it doesn't seem to have enough respect or regard for their way of life. People are allowed to choose how they want to live. Religions are associations of people who have the same belief system and they want to live within this belief system. And unfortunately, when you do something like take off the burqa or, hijab, and you say that, freedom is basic and that this type of covering does not represent freedom, it is considered, in my opinion, to be, out of touch with the view of that religion.
And it's not the only ad stirring controversy in Israel right now. A local election candidate in the city of Ramleh released this campaign last month. It depicts a woman wearing an Islamic veil, along with a caption suggesting it could be anyone's daughter if they married a Muslim partner. The poster has drawn condemnation from the city's Arab population, of course. Interreligious marriages are largely discouraged in Israel. Emrys Everson again says that the clothing choices of women are best left to women.
This type of covering does not represent freedom. Who are you to decide whether these women are free or not? If they're comfortable in this way of life, in this religion, then that's a decision that they're allowed to make. If you participate and you say, I personally no longer want to wear a hijab, that's your personal choice. But to say that it's not freedom for those women, I think it can very much seem to come across as not understanding and not respectful of that particular religion and culture. And what we've got to do is provide the resources so that if women decide that they want to live in a different country, live a different lifestyle, that those resources are there.
يمكن أن أقول شيء لأول مرة أقوله، أن إسرائيل دولة من دول المنطقة، ونحن جميعا ندرك هذا ونعرف هذا، والعالم يدرك هذا ويعرف هذا، ولكن على الرغم من هذا إسرائيل لا تتعامل في جوارها أو في هذه المنطقة اللي هي منها بنفس الطريقة التي تتعامل الدول الأخرى. ربما حان الوقت الآن أن يكون لإسرائيل ما للدول الأخرى، وأن يكون عليها ما على الدول الأخرى. لماذا؟ لأن، وهذا حقائق، التاريخ يقول أنه التوراة جاء في هذا الشرق الأوسط، وأن أنبياء بني إسرائيل من الشرق الأوسط، وأن التاريخ الإسلامي اليهود كانوا موجودين حتى في المدينة المنورة كرمها الله، وأنه نحن في عالم متطور، وأن إسرائيل تملك من الإمكانيات ما يجعلها تستفيد وتفيد، وأن المعاناة هذا التي عانى منها الفلسطينيين وعانوا منها العرب وعانوا منها الإسرائيليين وحتى اليهود في مختلف العالم. اليهود إذا يزورون مناطق في الشرق الأوسط يأتي بجنسية أمريكية أو جنسية من دول أوروبية ويتعامل، ولكن هذا ليس هو المطلوب. ولذلك احنا نرى في هذا الجو الآن الذي لمسناه خلال الأيام الماضية أنه هذه الأشياء يمكن أن تتحقق ويكون فيها مصلحة كبرى للفلسطينيين وللإسرائيليين على حد سواء، ويكون أيضا استقرار لمنطقة الشرق الأوسط التي هي أهم منطقة في العالم.
Regionally and internationally, the kingdom plays a strategically important role to achieve peace and prosperity by working with the United States and other allies to end conflicts all over the Middle East. The kingdom provides more than 4% per capita in aid to developing and poor countries. Only yesterday, the kingdom forgave $6 billion worth in debt to those poor countries. We are an asset to our friends, not a burden. We still value our strategic partnership with the United States and hope to sustain it. I hope that the United States continues to reciprocate in kind, that people in glass houses should not cast stones. Countries that have tortured and incarcerated innocent people and that launched a war that killed many thousands of people based on fabricated information should be humble in their regard to others. And countries that have persecuted and disappeared journalists and other individuals should not pose as champions of free speech.
We will now consider draft resolution A/73/L3. A vote, a recorded vote is requested for this draft resolution. We shall now begin the voting process. Those in favor of a draft resolution A/73/L3, please signify. Or those against, abstentions.
The General Assembly is now voting on draft resolution A/73/L3 entitled Necessity of Ending the Economic, Commercial and Financial Embargo imposed by the United States of America against Cuba. Will all delegations confirm that their votes are accurately reflected on the screen?
El resultado.
Okay, I'll go ahead now. The voting has been completed. Please lock the machine.
El resultado.
The result of the vote is as follows. In favor, 189. Against, 2. Abstentions, 0. Draft Resolution A/73/L3 is therefore adopted.
Familiar weapons were on display, a mock beach assault laid on for the press. But as the media day for NATO's biggest war games in decades got underway, Secretary General Stoltenberg's attention was focused on the possible collapse of the Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty.
No treaty can be effective if it's only respected by one part, and therefore we call on Russia to ensure that they are in full and transparent compliance with the INF Treaty, because we don't want a new arms race.
The treaty was a confidence-building measure signed by the United States and the then Soviet Union, designed to make it harder for one side to launch a surprise attack on the other. Now, the United States is threatening to unilaterally pull out of the Cold War Treaty, as it accuses the Russians of violations, something the Kremlin denies. NATO's Secretary General had a clear message for any potential adversary.
NATO is ready and NATO is able to protect all allies against any threat.
The exercises go beyond reassurance. 50,000 troops from 31 militaries practicing to fight alongside each other brings its own sets of challenges, which training helps overcome.
If we have a joint operation, you should know that it's working very well, and that's what this exercise means for me and my troops.
Some of the newer members of the alliance, who used to train alongside soldiers from the Soviet Union, now practice with their former enemies.
The main challenge for this is to cooperate their activities in all, because during the combats all units have to act together.
As the various militaries here today pack up and leave, what wasn't on display were the weapons that are going to make a decisive impact in any future conflict. New warfighting concepts, namely cyber warfare, the ability to blind and destroy the computer systems of one's adversaries, will be crucial to winning the next war. Despite that, the hardware of war isn't disappearing anytime soon, and these military exercises are key to reassuring nervous alliance members worried about increasing Russian military activity. Alex Katopoulos, Al Jazeera, Binaset, Norway.